Hello and welcome to A Book in 5 Minutes. I'm Lindsay Milner. This week's book is called The Dreaming Path and it is written by Paul Callaghan with Uncle Paul Gordon. So I've just spent a month in Australia and this book is an Australian airport find. It is subtitled Indigenous Thinking to Change Your Life. So the author, Paul Callaghan, is an Aborigine man who has lived and worked in the Western public sector and I think also in corporate roles until he had a mental health crisis. And that prompted him to look at reconnecting with his Indigenous culture and his own roots again. So, and looking into the traditions and the thinking of his Indigenous community. So there are some recurrent themes in this book. He often says about caring for our place and everything in our place. This is almost like a mantra. It's something that crops up repeatedly. And similarly, he also says that it's important to the Aborigine culture to live a good story, which resonated with me because obviously the last book that I reviewed was about the stories we live by. So there's a clear sort of connection there. The other thing that sort of crops up as a recurrent theme is that everything is connected. I don't think he actually uses that as a phrase, but to me that was the message that came through, is that everything we do, everything that we impact on is connected in some way in terms of the land, the air we breathe, the cosmos. It's quite a wide sort of philosophy, but it came through that, you know, everything is connected. So he uses storytelling and the oral tradition of the Aborigine culture. It's clearly important. Let me just check my notes here. He uses, he recounts a lot of the stories and a lot of the thoughts of Uncle Paul Gordon. I think it's the Aborigine culture puts a lot more emphasis on the oral tradition than we do, than the Western world does. So he uses their thoughts as well as the Aboriginal myths and stories. But the book itself, there are lots of chapters on things like relationships, love and gratitude, learning and truth, resilience, and also healing from the past. So there's much in here that reflects a lot of the current Western thinking in psychology and philosophy, and I can't help see there's a really strong resonance with a lot of the themes of positive psychology. So I particularly liked the thoughts on the chapter on leadership. He talks quite a lot about the kind of leaders that we want and the accountability that we should expect from our leaders and the standards that we accept from our leaders. And I just feel like the world would be a much better place if more people used these kind of Aboriginal beliefs and traditions and morals, if you like. So it really did have like quite a big sort of wide-ranging look at the world. Things, environmental issues crop up, political, poverty, all of those kind of issues crop up. I loved this book, and I think that everyone should read it. It's as simple as that. Everyone should read it, and if the Western world adopted some of these standards and traditions, then, as I say, the world would be a much better place. So that is The Dreaming Path. It is by Paul Callaghan, Uncle Paul Gordon, and it is subtitled Indigenous Thinking to Change Your Life. Go out, get it, read it. That's all I'll say. I haven't actually checked on Amazon if you can read it. As I say, I bought it in Australia. There's some comment on the back by Oprah Winfrey. I actually know one of her co-authors. So I guess from that it's probably available in the US. I haven't really checked if it's available in the UK. Probably should have done that. I'll put a note in the comments as to whether it's available. The Dreaming Path, Indigenous Thinking to Change Your Life by Paul Callaghan with Uncle Paul Gordon. That's this week's book in 5 minutes. I will see you next time. Bye.